Yo guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking about why I moved from iOS to Android. So I've always been an iOS user, all the way from the iPhone 3GS to the iPhone 6S. But I actually made a decision that I would move to Android, and I did that. Let's talk about iOS migration to Android. So the iOS migration to Android wasn't as straightforward as it seemed. There's a lot of factors that came into play, and that was things like messages, contacts, home automation, personal iCloud email address. And these are things that rung in my mind quite a bit. How would I go across to another platform, bringing these stuff with me? Well, my personal iCloud email address was quite straightforward to bring over, because all it is pretty much just using my Gmail account and configuring a new account that connects to iCloud and pulls back my email addresses. Smart home automation was a bit more frustrating than that. So far I haven't found nothing apart from Google Assistant, which I'm going to talk about. The other thing was messages and contacts. With contacts I had to export them from iCloud and import them manually because Samsung Smart Transfer wasn't working, and it's the same with messages. Messages I had to manually back up to iCloud with iTunes and then import them with another app and do some sort of database reload with this app. So number one, that was quite frustrating to do. So once all my migration was complete, I decided then to manually import all my apps that I use, and I was able to get at least 97% to be precise of my applications from my iPhone onto the Android phone. And that was things like my home automation, so Philip Hue app, the Canary app, IFTTT, Spotify, Medium for all my blogs that I read, and all the normal used apps that people use like Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. All those apps I was able to get back, which was great. And they all acted the very same experience as you would normally get with an iPhone, apart from certain things like elements being in certain places and gestures were being slightly different. So I got that sorted. That was nice, that was awesome, I was happy with that. But even though I had all my applications on my Android phone, I still wasn't happy with the smart home automation system around Android. So for starters, with iOS you have the control center, which you can just swipe up and press a bulb, turn it on and off on your network. With Android, this took me some time to configure, because for a few weeks I was just using the Philip Hue app just to turn on and turn off a bulb, even if that was at home or out at the office or shopping, whatever, from a remote connection. But only recently did I find that Google have released Google Assistant, and Google Assistant is the improved tool from Google that allows you to basically talk to it to do a whole load of things like what's the weather like, and what's the news today, what is the date today, what's the time, etc. Those type of things. And the other feature that they incorporated was the home stuff. So I could actually configure my device to say connect to the Hue account, and then configure all my bulbs, and then I could say, okay Google, turn on my lights. Now that command would tell Google to turn every single light on. And it'd be the same with like if I had group lights, so turn on my hallway lights, or turn on my bedroom lights, or turn on my kitchen lights. And it's the same with like if you wanted to configure them, like dimming them. Dim my lights, or dim my lights to 20%, or change the colour, or set the scene. And it was very fluid, and it was able to pick up and understand and accept what I was saying and react to it. And I didn't have to say it in such a way that it would understand. Like with Alexa or Siri, I have to exactly say it in such a way that it actually does it. It's very command-like. But with the Google stuff, I was actually being able to say it in a very fluid, very natural way, and it would understand and do exactly what I say, which was awesome. Now there are other apps out there, like a quick launcher app that you could put into your notification bar that would toggle only one light on, but this didn't fulfill my needs. I needed something like Google Assistant that could do it for me, and I was glad I could find that. So that was a bonus for me, I was happy with that. So the other thing that made me even happier with smart home automation with the Google Assistant was I was actually able to do the OK Google turn on my lights, not just from my Wi-Fi network, but even if I'm out and about. As with iOS and the control center, it was only able to turn on the bulbs if you was connected to your Wi-Fi network. So that made me even happier. Oh, and it's so quick. Like, I just say, OK Google, turn on my lights. And it's just done just like that, which is awesome. Now, there are a lot of Android devices out there, and the Google Assistant isn't available for everything. But with an Android phone, you're allowed to customize it. So this brings me to the topic of customization, launchers and everything else about the Android system. Now I was able to get the Google Assistant hooked onto my phone by changing a few configuration settings and updating some applications. And this is why I love Android so far, is with me being a developer, I don't like things being controlled. I don't like how things are decided for me. I like to customize my stuff. So if that means I want to change the way my user interface looks, then so be it. If I want to add stuff to the notification center of like custom stuff, so be it. And it's the same with launchers. So if I want to download a launcher that looks exactly like the brand new Google user interface when it comes with a launcher, for example, like Nugget, then I can just download it, install it, reconfigure, press that home button, and that's the default application to set my launcher for. And this is something for iOS that kind of bored me a bit, was the fact that Apple had designed their ecosystem to the way they thought it would be good for their consumers. Now, fair enough, it's awesome because it's simple, it's easy to use. So for the people out there that want something simple, want something easy, and don't want to have the hassle of customizing everything, then the iPhone is a wicked tool for them. But for a developer like me, Android was the best pick so far. So yeah, there have been a few flaws that I've had with my experience so far, and that's things that I've missed with iOS. So with iOS you have iMessage. iMessage is a great tool and I loved it. But with Android you don't have that, and unfortunately it's not cross-platform, so you can't use iMessage on Android. But I had to adapt, so I adapted with Messenger and WhatsApp. So now I use Messenger and WhatsApp for all my chats. So video calling and internet calling, I use Messenger. You can do that with WhatsApp as well, but for some people that don't have WhatsApp or don't use it as much, I'll just call them on Messenger. So the last thing that came into play for my factors of what made me decide to move to Android, and this is very different because for a lot of people, they go by specs and hardware. Now I knew the phone I was getting was already a wicked phone with great hardware and a great battery. So the last thing that came to me was the Google brand. Now I'm a big fan of the Google brand. I like the Google Material UI, and I like a lot of the Google services when that comes to Google Drive and Gmail and the Google Photos service. Oh, and the Google Calendar. I like the fact that everything is on the cloud. Although it's the same on iOS, it felt a little different for me on Google. Everything felt more connected together. So when I was able to take a phone on my Galaxy, it would be straight away up onto Google Photos there and then, and I was able to view it. And it's like when I got my MacBook or my iPad, I can just open it up and see it. Yeah, this isn't the same experience as iOS. Yeah, it's not as fluid as iOS because of if you have a MacBook or an iPad or an iPhone, you can easily copy stuff over just by looking at it, or airdropping it, or just take a photo on your iPhone and there it is suddenly in the MacBook area of the photos world. So yeah, with all these things that came into play, with all my experience so far of Android, I can say to myself that I made a wicked decision moving from iOS to Android, only because I feel much more happy with my phone and the operating system that I'm using. So before I end this video today, enjoy the rest of my weekend, I'm just going to explain that this video wasn't intended to say how bad iOS is or how good or even bad Android is. It's more of a video just to explain my experience that I had with iOS, and as well as my experience moving from iOS to Android, and so far what it's been like with Android. I can also say that with my experience so far of having both the iOS and Android system, if you're a person that likes to just have a phone that is simple to use, doesn't need to have a lot of configuration, and you like the easy, simple design, then the iPhone is great for you. But if you're a person that also likes to configure your phone, to change things up, to spice it up now and again, and not have to worry about getting a new phone because certain features come out based on updates and different devices, then an Android phone is good for you, only because you can hack them and tweak them and do whatever to make them feel like you, to make them feel better for you. So yeah, just a heads up, I will be doing a video soon around the apps that I use on my Android phone. I'll record it and show an experience of the apps that I use on a daily basis. So yeah guys, if you have any comments, any questions about my experience with iOS and Android, or even if you want to share your own experiences, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. Make sure to hit that thumbs up and make sure to subscribe if you want to keep following me on my journey with tech. Thanks for watching.